technology, we have a 3D printer, our communities connect because of the plastic pollution, no recycling. And so we can take that plastic, run it through a 3D printer, and print STEM hubs. And within these solar powered STEM hubs, you're able to grow food, you're able to give the students innovative technology so that they can soar and transform the community. So started the project back in Philadelphia. We've been successful at creating a model in Ghana. We've been to Ghana twice, expanding into Kenya in October. And so we also focus on water filtration systems where we actually 3D print water filters as well, and from plastic waste. And so the rural community that we started off in, had a high mortality rate with people just dying and getting sick from clean water. Taught the students there in Ghana how to 3D print. And guess what? The mortality rate decreased. Not only that, it sparked those students to take that innovation and create more things. So, Black STEM is definitely using culture, using global innovation to create sustainable communities for the future. And this technology, there's as far as the hydrotech farm, none in the continent of Africa. So we want to be trailblazers in bringing this innovation to the continent.
Sure.
You have a presentation? Yeah, so
Yes.
maybe we can see a picture.
Yes.
And,
So if you can go to the, keep going. I want to show the actual farm. Keep going. So that's an example of the STEM hubs, hydrotech. You can keep going. Keep going.
So it starts off in the nursery?
Yes. So yeah, no, the second one, and then press click here. So yes, how it, oh, there we go. So this is the news. We've been spotlighted on the news over 12 times for this technology. Scroll down. And this is an actual at the height. So as you can see, beautiful. And that's what you can kick out weekly. And also it's seasonless. So wherever you want to grow, whenever you want to grow it, you can do it right in that farm. So you can go back and pause it. So pause it. So all of that, non-GMO, pesticide-free. That's basil and butterhead lettuce there. And everything is controlled in a climate controlled. You can be in Kenya while in Liberia controlling the farm from your phone. And you can actually, because it's pesticide free, eat directly off the farm. And the shelf life is 2.5 weeks because of the way we grow it. So even something as tomatoes, banana, you can grow them right there in the farm. Something that's prominent in America or China, you can grow it right there in that farm. And you can even customize it as well.
I know about hydroponics. I mean, mostly with cucumbers, tomatoes, and things like that. But that's interesting.
yeah.
Bananas.
Mm-hmm.
The great
And
thing,
strawberries.
the great thing about that, like she was saying, and you can change it. Some things grow well with others, and so like you can grow strawberries, and then you can turn around and then the next month grow something totally different, but you're still in the same space. Versus if you're out on the, just makes it more efficient. When you talk about efficiency and sustainability of, if you do have strawberries now, you got to in the ground, you got to now tear all that out, wait for it to get through, then you got to go back and plant it. So it makes it a lot more efficient. So.
And a little bit different from hydroponics, it's added because it's engineered sensors in there. So whereas with hydroponics, you can get lose a lot of crops, but with this system, it decreases that because you get alerts. The sensors pick up if the pH is off, if it's the pH is too high, if it's not enough of nutrients in the water, the lighting needs to change on the recipe. So the system really controls it, and then harvesting the solar energy in order to power it. And you can communicate with other farms. So then that's collaboration with other students in order to produce different types of produce.
Okay. So how is your how you working in Accra? I'm like because we have the same realities. although we got better. But
Mhm.
how are you working in Accra? What farm you started working in Accra?
Mhm.
Okay,
Well,
so
not
what are you?
Accra. We work in Keta and the
Okay,
Volta region.
okay,
Yes.
yeah,
So,
but
but
yeah.
how our partnership with Accra is,
Hmm.
we use their
Not say
suite.
Accra. Let's say Ghana. How are you working in Ghana? What farms are you have there? What are you growing?
Yes. So we started off with just lettuce there, and again, that's in the Volta region.
Okay. So how did you start? How what were your challenges and what
Mhm.
lessons did you learn? Because it would be the same for us.
Mhm. So, the how do we start? One is training the students
Okay.
on how that's how you produce the sustainability aspect, is empowering the students.
Training.
And so once you empower the students, get them to connect with the importance of this technology and this innovation, it can run itself. So that's the major part, is the collaboration with the students. The other part is pretty easy.
So you can collaborate with BWI, Liberty Washington. We tie that back in. Dr. Conan with the University of Liberia with the Agriculture Department, whereas you can tie that back in, especially with that, and with BWI, which falls back into what we're what we're what we're here for, the training and
Mhm.
sustainability.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And even when we went to Ghana the first year we went, it was a girl in the village who was missing a limb, and we were able to use the 3D printers to print her prosthesis. And so we're expanding that project as well, with just being able to give prosthetic limbs at a very low cost with the STEM technology.
So, what are the ingredients that you need to be able to come up with a farm of this nature?
Each location provides its own challenge. You have different ways from a 3D printer to a pod, right? And so each one, when you go there, that's why I say when I'm coming there, you want to see what are the challenges. You know, is it the terrain? Is it this? Is it better to do it this way, or is it better to do it that way? And so it's hard to say what it is without seeing exactly what it is, right? And so, what's needed in your region more than anything else? Are you growing to sell? Are you going to give to the needy? Are you going to make profit? So, all of those details kind of have to be uh, built out for that particular space. How far is it from getting to a grocery store in Liberia? Are you going to export it? Are you going to do both? So all of those things, although it's broad, the presentation we're giving is kind of broad. It's hard to give direct, say, okay, this would be this way without really seeing the land. But the process of what is how once it's figured out, you plug in, okay, I'm doing basil or I'm doing peppers or cucumbers. Those things may be used more in the country, and you may say, hey, look, we have villages that are hungry, and we're going to take 40% and give to the needy for free to help them get on their feet. We're going to sell 60% to make a profit, because everybody know nothing is for free. You know what I'm saying? If you can't if you can't make money and the people that you're serving at the same time, it's like milk on the counter. It will eventually go bad. And so it has to be a win-win for you guys, and it has to be a win-win for us as well by coming in and defining what that partnership really looks like from Liberia's side and what we bring to the table, and say, okay, cool. This is what we're willing to bring to the table. And I always say, argue first and be friends later, and
Mhm.
find out what it is that's needed, and say, hey, look, here's where we think, you guys tell us, like, we think this would be a great place for a central hub, so it doesn't have to go as far from where it needs to go. And say, okay, then if this is the space, how big of a space is it? How many pods or 3D printers it should be? All of those things will be worked out in the details, but from a bird's eye view, quote unquote, without seeing the space, it's kind of hard to get the particulars.
Yeah, yeah.
They will be able to provide jobs.
Yes.
That's and they can provide sustainability with jobs, and also partner with other Liberians who are in entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
It's 60-30 split, and they feel they have some type of ownership.
Mm-hmm.
They
Right.
feel good about themselves.
Right.
So it'll be up those of us who are on the ground to kind of find out what Liberian companies that are in the same area in partnership. So while you are in the States, it can still be running
Mhm.
because you have a Liberian partner on the ground that's making it happen.
And because of the technology that she can see it from her phone, that's what's going on or whatever it is. So that's where the technology efficiency goes versus something being in the ground. Again, if you don't have an eye on it, you don't know if that needs to be watered or whatever. The way we're talking about is it will send you a notification that the pH balance of the water needs to be changed, or it needs to use pH up or pH down. And so that costs or whatever it is, but at the same time, it makes it so much more efficient to be able to put out 10 acres of produce in a month in a pod that's no bigger than this room is pretty impressive. And
Yeah.
so you talk about saving space, you're talking about energy, and you're talking about, like you said, jobs and teaching a kid. And then that kid now grows up. He knows how to make a living for himself. He knows how to fix it. He knows how to do these different things. And so you're stimulating their mind, you're giving them something to do, they're being able to make money for their family, and that creates sustainability. You have a filter that puts in the water that helps it safer for you to drink. I'm now eating food that is healthy for me without pesticides, so my lifespan will go longer. So the end game to that is so much greater than what meets the eye. And so that's what I call value. And when you talk about value, you don't worry about cost. You always worry about the cost when you don't get the value. And that is what the important piece for me is.
That's the question that I had. I'm glad you clarified that. The question is, who owns the technology? Because if you talk about sustainability, it has to be an ingrown kind of technology that will be owned by those who are on the ground. And so, for them to be able to sustain what they're doing, they should have the ownership. But you just clarified that.
Right. So again, I think that is defined in your partnership, right?
Right.
And so when you talk about, okay, here's the pod, if you're going to put it inside of a pod and grow lights and everything else. So ownership means what does that ownership look like? Am I a 30% owner? And is that sweat equity, or do I input cash as well as sweat to say, okay, then as we get it up and we have it here or whatever it is, here's what my piece of equity looks like is putting into it, right? I'm gonna help run it, and if I don't have cash, what does it look like? After so long, does it then transfer from 80/20 to 70/30 because I didn't have cash? Again, all of those details of what it looks like has to kind of be done in the details, and I don't think the preliminary meeting is you kind of go in a rabbit hole
Yeah,
of all the different possibilities.
I know.
So,
It's a good idea to have you on the ground,
Mhm.
maybe do a demo and work with our Central Agricultural Research Institute
Mhm.
so that we can pilot this properly, and then we have buy-ins. We have like the BWI, the other agriculture institutions
Mhm.
or the agriculture department that are present in our different universities. So it's mind blowing listening to you. I just what you go in the marketing brochures here and the website that you can direct us to. I like to read further on it
Okay.
because it's a technology that I don't know. So yeah, it's good.
And she's a graduate of Clark AU.
That's great.
In this technology, you can't do board graphic.
Oh, well, I won't say can't. Science, anything is possible. So
Can you do it?
right now, no. But
Okay.
yeah.
What do
What
you
is
have
that,
to
bone graphic?
bone graft?
Yeah.
Um, but agriculture is local. I know in Ghana, most part of Ghana, water is a problem. The thing about Liberia, you have water everywhere.
Yeah.
Some,
Yeah.
rivers and things, but I mean, for agriculture and these kind of technology, um, it worked well in Liberia, and also we community with tree crops growing like Ghana, maybe cocoa, and so it's a combination of exportable items, and in the case of rice production, like we were talking with these gentlemen, it's massive land clearing, and so this goes hand in hand because some of these are mostly for the supermarkets and for exportation. So it's something that we do have a research institute and that can adapt to new technology. We were in Cote d'Ivoire not too long ago to look at their research system. But mostly, some of these ideas are new, and but they're possible. We can work with them, especially to maximize the use of
Space.
we're in a
Yeah,
small
space.
place.
Yes,
You can do
it's amazing.
If I could just add, hi, it's a pleasure meeting you. If I could just add, one of the benefits about working with this partnership is that we have proven sustainability, starting from Jackson, Mississippi, with the water crisis, Sapelo Island in Georgia, Lower County, Georgia. We've been to Ghana twice, so we started the program in Ghana. We came back again, and we made sure that the infrastructure was there and was sustainable. So we have documented evidence that this model could work well for you.
Mhm.
In addition, we're going to be traveling to Kenya in the upcoming year. So one of the things that makes us so different sitting here is that we have evidence of how you can develop infrastructure and people to make sure that your program is sustainable. And Shirley's model, what she's developed, it is something that she can continue a partnership. So you wouldn't feel like you were isolated, like someone came in, dropped off something, and now you have to figure it out for yourself. So we continue long-term partnerships as well.
So when are you thinking about coming to Liberia? You go to
He's coming.
Kenya.
I can come
You're
December the
December.
2nd. December 2nd, I'll be
Yeah,
there.
I'll be
I'm
there
in Ghana
to set up for
in
him.
late November, then December 2nd. I'm working together now to get
That's
visa
great.
and all of that.
Yeah,
And I'm coming just for this. So
Yes,
to
great.
take a look
It's,
and
it's worth traveling for,
Mhm.
and I like to see how this works. I'm intrigued. Thank you.
absolutely.
And then if we could establish how, we can bring that in and who we've been meeting with, Shirley can definitely develop the project timeline
Sure.
and make sure that we have before we even step foot there, that we have some partnership, that we're able to bring what we need so it's beneficial when we get there.
So we need to start identifying some Liberian businesses with NIC that are on that same level.
Mhm.
So when they do come and meet, we give them a list and we
Her
vet it.
husband is one.
Yeah, we vet them
He
out,
loves salmon.
vet them out to see the right fit with everything.
Dr. Ability will
Yeah. Oh, that would love them. But I'd like to read more about this. Can you direct us to a website, or if you have any marketing materials, let's read more about it. I want to read about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
we could get your email address.
Yes,
so we
sir.
can
Yes,
send it over.
please.
Yes.
You need NDA or whatever.
Mhm.
So when she send over, before we send it over, because the world it is today, we probably have to have a need to send over NDA so
Okay.
that it's not then given to someone
Of,
else.
of course not. It's for us
Thank
to,
you.
because in order for us to work efficiently, we, across this table need to understand it
Absolutely,
and see how we can fit it into our realities.
absolutely.
So it's very important. It's just for my understanding, because I'm really intrigued, and I like to. I'm a very hands-on person, so I want to see it and
Mhm.
see myself in it.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Understand.
yeah. It's good. Thank you.
That's all we have. I mean, we short and sweet.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I remember the first time I met you in May. You was like, NATO, no action, talk only. I remember that. And so short, sweet, and to the point.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste your time. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Exactly. So thank you.
So
Yeah.
thank you guys for taking your time. We appreciate it, and I
Thank
look
you so
forward to
much.
seeing you. Hopefully, I get to see you when I come over.
Of course.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
you will.
Hopefully, we get a chance to see you and I want to be immersed
You
into
want
the.
some African flavor food?
Yes, I do. I have restaurants here, so I get that anywhere. I want to come and be in your country and be totally
We
submerged.
can
So I
grow
look
some
forward to it.
organic food and live longer.
Oh, yes, sir.
You mean your
Yeah.
culture. This is your culture.
Absolutely. Well,
Your real culture.
I agree with that.
Oh.
I definitely agree with that. I have a farm in
Story, and I can
Alabama.
trace your
We just
genealogy.
we just had we just grew we're growing peas, watermelon. I'm a farm in Alabama now, and my mom's like, I'm tired of picking peas. So that's what
You,
she
you
said.
just mentioned Jackson, Mississippi. I lived there for 2 years. My husband was a visiting professor at Jackson State University. I still have a home in Jackson.
Oh, that's
Really?
what we
Really? I
Yeah.
graduated from Southern Miss down in Hattiesburg.
Okay, yes.
Yes,
Oh my
absolutely.
goodness, yeah.
Yes, I'm on the board there for the university.
Yeah,
So,
I've got tons of friends in Jackson.
So one of the first things that we're going to share with you is our documentary from Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay,
You'll
okay.
see the power of our
Do
young
you
people.
work with Dr. Ali Mack?
Ellie Mae.
no, we didn't work with her.
Okay, because she's into this 3D. She was the first person I heard
Yeah, so
from.
when we went to Jackson, they have a whole innovation lab with 3D print, but they weren't using them though.
Okay.
Yeah, but that we definitely saw their innovation lab.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and so